How's it going, everybody? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and if you're returning from a previous video, I appreciate you coming back. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing 3 separate styles of mag pouches and demonstrating their pros and cons and hopefully narrowing down which one of these mag pouches will work the best for you. So without further ado, let's begin. The 3 styles of mag pouches we got are Velcro flapped closed pouches, Bungee retained pouches, and Kydex retained pouches. I am missing one style mag pouch, and that is elastic, like your Blue Force Gear 10 speeds. Unfortunately, I don't have one of those on hand, so I can't demonstrate that for you today. So my 3 examples here are the USGI double M4 mag pouch, the ATS Tactical Gear single M4 mag pouch Bungee, and the Kydex mid-length M4 magazine pouch. So now I'm gonna break down each one of these, show you their pros and cons, and then give you some of my thoughts at the end for what they do best. So, starting out with the Velcro flapped. So, this pouch retains your magazine with a simple Velcro closered flap. And what that flap does is it helps prevent getting any mud and gunk into your magazine pouch. This protects it from the weather by kind of sealing your mag in. It is a little exposed on the sides, but on the front face of it, it's completely enclosed, which is really nice for keeping water, dirt, any stuff like that from getting in your pouch. It's quick and easy to remove that flap and dry your magazine. The second thing is you can double stack these, so you could throw 2 mags into these pouches, or if you just have one, there's this elastic sleeve around the side that hugs your mag, so if you just have one in there, it's not floppy and super loose in your pouch. The other thing is since it's got this Velcro flap, it's got a bunch of adjustability depending on the height of your object you're putting inside the pouch, and it's even got this little tab which you could pull out to adjust your Velcro field, such as if you're running, say, a mag pull, just a standard magazine with one of these mag pull tabs. You could throw that on there and still got a bunch of Velcro retention. Even if you're running a PMag with one of these pull tabs, I don't have just a regular PMag, I only have one with this pull tab on here, but you could still throw that in this pouch and have good Velcro retention on it, which is sweet. The other main pro about these pouches is they could hold things other than M4 mags, such as smoke grenades. Here's a replica M18 smoke grenade here. Which you can throw straight in that pouch, and this could be your smoke grenade pouch. Holds it really well. You could still get a good purchase on the top of the smoke grenade. Another big thing this can do is act as a makeshift holster in pinch situations. For demonstrating, I got this cheap airsoft 1911 here. You can throw a full-size 1911 in here and still have some Velcro retention, which is huge. If you have something smaller like a Glock, it'd fit even better. But this is just for an example. It could even hold a 1911, which is sweet. So you get a lot of modularity with what you can hold within this pouch. However, you are a little limited with this flap. You don't have any MOLLE on the front face of the pouch for attaching other items to the front of it if you needed to. And also, you have that Velcro rip, which in my opinion, that's not a big deal, because if you have to reload a magazine, you've probably already spent 30 rounds and there's really no need to be quiet at that point. However, some people just don't like that sound, which I can understand. So that was the Velcro closed pouch. Next, we're on to the Bungee pouch. So this pouch just retains your mag with a simple shock cord with pull tab, and it could hold a single magazine really well. So just shove it down in, and boom, it's retaining your magazine. It can sense the shock cord is nice and stretchy. You could even throw your PMag in here, just like that. So you could retain your PMags in here too, because of that shock cord. And if you have something super tall, you could loosen the shock cord and tighten it to whatever tightness you need, which is a good feature with these pouches, is the shock cord's adjustability, even being able to remove it altogether. What a lot of people do is they'll throw a magazine in here and just keep the bungee off to the side like this. And now you have a speed mag, you have nothing over the top of this magazine, but as soon as you need retention, just pull that over the top and your mag's not going nowhere. Pros with this pouch is you have your MOLLE on the front here, so you could attach some D-rings if you want to hang your gloves. You could attach another mag pouch on over top, pistol mag pouches, whatever you need. Everybody loves MOLLE because you could attach a bunch of stuff to it, so that's a good feature with these. However, the con is you can't hold as many weird things as like these double stack M4 mag pouches, and your magazine is more exposed to the elements. The other thing is, for the final con, is these pouches normally go pretty deep, which as you saw with this standard magazine here, that mag sits really deep and it's kind of hard to get a good purchase on the magazine like that. So a good little mod you could do with these is just inserting a small piece of foam down into the bottom of the pouch, and what that's going to do is going to force your mag to sit a little bit higher so you can get a better draw on the magazine. So that's a simple mod you can do to increase the ride height of your mag. These, like the Velcro pouch, can also hold a pistol if you really needed to, just like that. You could hold your 1911. Again, not the best holster, but in a pinch, you can do it. You probably can't fit a Glock in here though, just simply because Glocks are quite a bit wider than a 1911. But if you have a more skinny weapon, such as a 1911, you could shove it in here. Finally, we got the Kydex pouch. This is the S-Takiwi mid-ride. So it uses Kydex retention to retain your magazine. These pouches are very common as speed mags. You see these a lot on belts. This one I rock on my belt, and it's great for a speed mag, simply because you have no retention over the top of the pouch that you have to get out of the way. And unlike this without the shock cord, this mag is still retained. See, that mag's not going nowhere, but as soon as I grab my hand on it, you can just simply yank it right out of the pouch, and it's perfect for working as a speed mag. Other pros of this pouch is, again, you have MOLLE on the front face of it. This one's a mid-ride, so it's a little bit shorter, so you don't have as much MOLLE as this ATS one, but you still have some MOLLE on here if you wanted to mount like a pistol mag pouch, for example, on front of it. Another pro of it being shorter like this is that you have more grip on the top of this magazine without the need of the foam. So as you can see, I could get a whole bunch of grip on this magazine for a good reload and a stable reload. And I don't have to worry about kind of reposing my hand as I draw it out of the pouch. This, just simple pull out and insert into my gun. So this is a really good for that. They offer these in different heights. So unlike this where you have to use foam, with this, you could buy different heights of a pouch. Some that cut off here so that the mag sits all the way up there. There's some that are as deep as this mag pouch here. That's their longs. This is the mid, and then the short is that smaller one that's only this big. So the bigger you go, the more retention your mag's going to get, and the better protected your mag's going to get, which leads me into the con. With this mid right here, you're going to have your mag's going to be pretty exposed, which is going to allow it to get dinged up a little bit. However, that's not a huge deal, especially if you're rocking this on the side of your battle belt. This is not really going to take any damage or anything. Also, there's nothing over the top of the magazine, so if you're doing a bunch of hardcore movements, there is the possibility of this breaking free of the pouch, especially if that Kydex eventually wears itself out. However, there is a way to fix that. All you're going to want to do is, with this, for example, is you're going to want to melt right here with a lighter, not keep the light quite a bit away, just kind of heat it up, and you're going to want to bend it like this. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause there to be a bigger bump and cave inward and force that magazine to have more friction on it and be better retained. So that's a mod you can do that also goes the opposite way, which I did with this pouch here. When I first got it, it was really tight, and I loosened it up a little bit, so it's a little bit looser for my magazines. And again, this pouch can hold your PMags. However, I loosened mine so much that PMags are a little loose in it. So if I was gonna rock a PMag in here, I would definitely increase the retention on it. So that kind of breaks down what each of these pouches can do. As a little add-on here, some of these pouches can kind of transform into the other. So for example, you could take one of these S-Tack inserts and throw it into the Bungee retained pouch, and there you have a Kydex retained pouch. Or you can throw shock cord onto this magazine here and have a shock cord retained pouch. And I believe, I'm not sure if S-Tack makes some, but maybe it's Forge Concepts, I could be very wrong on that, but some company makes a Bungee retention kit specifically for S-Tack mag pouches because they're lined with Velcro. So that'll give you a Bungee retention on the pouch, which is a sweet feature if you're doing a bunch of hardcore movements. So that about covers all of these mags and their pros and cons. So now for my final thoughts. It depends. Many of you probably saw that coming, but it really depends on what you need. If you need a mag that you need to get super fast, a speed mag, get the S-Tack pouch. You can't beat that Kydex retention, the smooth and easy draw, but still keeping tension on your magazine. If you want a pretty smooth draw, but you want some positive retention, you could go with the Bungee mag pouches. Many people have these on the front of their plate carriers. And finally, if you need a bunch of modularity, kind of a general purpose style pouch, you could go with the Velcro one. This could hold your mags. It could hold 2 mags if you need to, your smoke grenades, whatever it may be. You can throw these in here as just kind of a stuff it pouch and a general purpose pouch. If you've seen any of my gear setup videos for my plate carrier and battle belt, you know I have a style of these pouches everywhere on my gear, in one place or another. On my belt, I have one of these for a speed mag. On the front of my JPC, I have these on the front because I don't necessarily need speed with those mags, but I want them to be easily drawable, to be placed and restock the speed mag. And on my cummerbund, I have one of these pouches, which I keep a magazine in. However, I have that on there just in case I need to rock a smoke grenade or whatever it may be. I could throw that in there, and that gives me a lot of capability. So that is the breakdown of each of these pouches. I hope this helped narrow down which one will work best for you. If you didn't even need this video, I hope it was entertaining, and I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you all for watching. And before we go, I'm going to start doing this with all my videos, is I'm going to read off my public subscribers. So this one, there's going to be a lot of public subs. And in my next one, if I get any more public subs, I'll read them off at the end of that video. So I'm going to read a bunch of public subs off, and then at the end, I'm going to read off a couple of people that aren't public subs that comment on a lot of my videos. So this is just a way to kind of give back to the people that have publicly supported me. However, if you aren't a public sub and you don't comment, but if you watch my videos, I appreciate that too. This is just a way to kind of give back a little bit. So let me begin. So for some public subs, we have Ready Room Reviews, W.A. Simmers, William Taylor, Helix8473, Ducky Guna, Predator Aliens, Noah Eels, Zach Bird, Brian Reeves, Chris C30, Chuckles, Verona, B&W Bulgay, Vladimir Pizik, Fish Shadowiffy, Zangler Industries, No Name, X Flynn, Wingding Games, Band of the Red Flag Band, or Band of the Red Hand, sorry, John Chevy Dude, Soggy Wet Naps, Nunya, Zeta Boya, Tracy Heim, Marc-Andre de Paz. Again, if I misspoke any of your names, I apologize. Names have never been my strong suit, so I'm sorry if I got your name wrong. Now for a couple commenters that have commented on a lot of my videos. We have Finlow1124, Asian Milsim, Aryan Gupta, and Willow Moran. Those are some public commenters and subscribers. I appreciate every single one of you, not just the people on that list, but also all of you that made it this far into the video. This is a shout out to you. Thank you all for watching, and as always, hope you all have a great day.